Welcome back, you filthy exiles. So, as promised, I said I'd do a progress video, and this is going to be the progress video. So, ran into a few hitches with the shield crush. Part of it is its clear speed's a bit slow, and also getting its attacks per second up is not necessarily the easiest thing to do in the world. The other thing is, for whatever reason, Spectral shield throw just scales at a whole different fucking level. So I ended up switching to Spectral shield throw for now. Eventually though, it's relatively the same gearing with the exception of the chest piece that I'm going to be using, which is going to be the lion's eyes
I can't do this just yet.
chest piece. But anyway, let's get into it. So basically, what have I got set up here? As you can see, I've just been farming. Really basic setup. Right now, this is at tooltip of 34 up to 40 something thousand DPS. The POB itself is at 171. You can see configs, nothing weird. Fortify, frenzy, charges. Have I been hit recently? And 8 bleeds, which is Crimson Dance. And then obviously Cyrus damage. Enemies are bleeding and enemies are maimed. Pretty simple stuff. In the tree, so 171,000 DPS, and my tree is nowhere near done. This is at level 81, and you know the B-roll at the start is T6 and 7 maps within the first day, and that's how quickly it's clearing it with shit all gear. So how do I get it to that? So the first thing that you're going to need is pretty much the best sword right now to be starting with is the Prismatic Eclipse. It's dirt cheap at 2 chaos. Yeah, you'll farm that throughout the campaign. So grab that and then roll all green sockets. This is going to give you crazy amounts of attack speed. So 12% increased global attack speed per socket, green socket. So that's what, 36% attack speed buff, which is pretty good. Now when we get to master crafting, we'll get an axe with more bleed damage, more damage over time and things like that for physical. But we're not at that point yet, so we're not too worried about that. My chest piece right now, I did have a Belly of the Beast drop, so I'm just rolling a Belly of the Beast, but my chest piece that I'm currently getting up to a 5 link is Lion Eyes Vision. The reason why is you get level 15 Pierce, as well as Mana Leech as well. And I'll note the note to get around the mana problem is kill a Lyra in Act 2, take the mana regeneration node instead of the 2 skill points. Then when you can find it, get Mana Leech. So I have 0.38 Mana Leech on my ring right now. I'll have 0.4 at my chest piece and I can change my ring, or I can do away with having Lyra, sorry. That's how you get around the mana problem. There's another way that we'll deal with this when we get to 5 link, but I'll explain that shortly. Helm, really basic helm, nothing special. Big one, Magma Eclipse Pinnacle Tower Shield. So as you'll see this Aegis on me. What this shield does is it means the first 1,000 points of elemental damage come from the shield's ability, which is Elemental Aegis, which means you can take more damage. This is already a max block character, and I haven't even gotten into that. So this is again just damage layering on damage layering, but yeah, so right now this shield goes for about, this is actually the most expensive item at 24 chaos. These are going up to 40 chaos dependent, and there's not very many on the market because people haven't realized that this is an ultra powerful league starter and has really good endgame scaling. Boots, just any old boots, just life resistances, movement speed. Belt, same thing, life resistances. Amulet, nothing special yet, and you'll see all this in the POB. Same with my other ring. I did have a La Hoop of All drop, so I've applied this because it gives me good resistances. Right now I'm almost resistance capped, which is good, and I'm even well over the cold resistances. Now, that's pretty much it for gearing right now. From a stats perspective, right now we have about 62% block chance. That's because this shield is a bit shittier with block chance, but I think it can be improved if we quality it, but I haven't done that yet. But eventually we will switch out from the shield, and we'll probably craft like a 2,000 or 3,000 armor shield, which is hopefully going to give us a lot more block chance and get us up to that max block cap. But right now block is procking 62% of the time. That's pretty good. It could be better because you can get up to about 74, 79%. So I got a little ways to go. And the way that I can achieve that is by following up these nodes, and then taking these block nodes here to that block node there, and then there's also more block there as well. So that's one way that I can get around that, which I'll probably end up doing. So tree-wise, pretty much I went the wrong way about this originally, so I need to do a little bit of respecking, but you'll want to go down and pick up the attack speed nodes, and then you want to come down and grab this this Art of the Gladiator first. Come down here. I just went straight down and picked up the shield cluster down here, and then I moved across and I got Bloodletting and Crimson Dance because we want to start doing bleed, and then we'll go up and, well, sorry, actually we'll go across to Bloodless, go down, pick up Call to Arms pretty early, come up and pick Aggressive Bastion, and then come back up, pick Juggernaut, Solidarity, Warrior's Blood, Heart of the Warrior, come back up and get Resolute Technique, and then we'll pick up these other nodes in here. This one in particular I like because Vanquisher does, you crush enemies for 4 seconds when you hit them while they're on full health, and then you get 40% increased physical damage from this as well. You also get damage over time multipliers as well. Now, you can take the cluster node approach, which I'll probably end up doing when I get to endgame and get the clusters, but right now, not really worried about that. That's a later down the track thing. Then we can run Rend and things like that. Then we'll come back up from this point. We'll grab this dual socket here. We'll grab Constitution, and then we'll grab Veteran Soldier. Again, this is giving us more dot. It's giving us more physical damage, more more everything that we need to proc bleed. And then we'll come back across to Art of the Gladiator. We'll come and pick up Command of Steel, and then we'll come up here, pick this node here. And then when we get back down the shield nodes, this is after we start running Spectral Shield, just come across and get point blank. This is going to mean all your projectiles do 30% more damage at the start of their movement cycle. Now, the other one that we'll end up getting too is this here, because we do need this node. And actually, what I might do for now is I'll allocate towards this. Because we want Iron Grip to convert to push our strength as a projectile damage multiplier. So we have 369 strength. That means that our strength is going to be a bonus to projectile attack damages, and Spectral Shield Throw is a projectile skill. Now, skill setup. Right now, I'm literally just running on 4 links. So we've got nearly 200k DPS with 4 links, 200k dot with 4 link setups. So in the helm, just a Mortal Call, cast when damage taken, Blood Rage, Corrupting Fever, which I found out procs off of your cast damage taken. But just be wary, it can kill you if it procs, and yeah, you don't have enough health. The other thing is coming down into the chest. So right now I've got Spectral Shield Throw, Swift Affliction, Vicious Projectiles, and Brutality Support. What I'll end up moving to with this is I'm actually going to get Life Tap. The reason why I'm going to use Life Tap is because that will take away our mana cost. So supported skills cost life instead of mana. So it means you spend life, but you get a damage increase when you proc Life Tap. So after you spend so much life, 273 life, you're going to get Life Tap. That's going to increase your damage by 19 to whatever percent. Also means you don't have to use mana anymore, which means once we get to that stage, we can actually tack on a third aura, and we'll probably run Pride or Malevolence, and then Bob's your uncle, you're doing even crazier damage. In my shield, I'm just running War Banner and Enduring Cry. This is not optimized. This is just getting me through because we're running Call to Arms. We're running Enduring Cry as our, as you can see, it went off when I was moving around. We're running Enduring Cry as a moving setup. And then in boots, just Shield Charge and Fortify and faster attacks. And I do have a Herald of Purity in here because Herald of Purity is pretty good. This is pretty much the best movement skill at the moment. Because they have nerfed everything else, we have to focus on the things that they haven't nerfed. And this is one of the things that they buffed, actually. It also does 29,000 DPS as well, which is pretty good because, yeah, shield charge is pretty fast. And then the last thing, because we're running a max block character, or we're moving up into max block, I am running a Reckoning setup. And on this, I'm running Reckoning, life gain on hit. So when you hit right now, I'm getting 40 life back, and I block a hell of a lot. And Pulverize, which will give you a wider area of effect, so you hit more enemies. and also culling strike. So when an enemy wants to go you 1-to-1 and you hit that critical block at that clutch point, they've got less than 10% health left, they're fucking dead. And it also increases the DPS of that too. So even that does, like, on the tooltips, 4,000 DPS. What does it say in POB? It wouldn't do very much. Literally just exited out of the one thing I needed to have open. Progress, SST, there we go. So shield reckoning is currently doing, 25k DPS. So it's not doing anything. It's more of a utility skill at this stage. Not really meant for anything other than that. Anyway, so ascendancies. If we look at ascendancies, so the first thing I took was Pain Forge. This is going to get your block chance up, and it means that your counterattacks do double damage, but it means that you can't be stunned by hits you block, and we're blocking a lot, so blocking most things. And then I went Blood in the Eyes, and then by third lab I got Gratuitous Violence, which means, as you were seeing on the B-roll at the start, everything just bleed pops and explodes. Lastly, I'll get Versatile Combatant. This is going to match my my block. My spell block with my attack block, which means I'm going to block even more and be pretty safe in most scenarios, because block tends to be a really good mechanic. And that's about it. That's pretty much it for the build. Just have a look at this. Right now I do have Soul of the Brine King. I don't really need to be running that. Probably that would be better. Maybe even that. And then I'm just running Soul of Tukahama, so you just get more fizz damage when you're standing stationary. Again, it's completely up to discretion of what you want to do here. You could run Solar Slither, which is going to give you flask charges. Now, as far as flasks, I haven't been too concerned with flasks because this build is pretty self-sufficient without, but I'm just running a Granite Flask. I do like the new Basalt Flask because it's got Taunt. You're the right sort of character that uses Taunt. Quicksilver, as always, just a Life Flask with some Attack Leech on it, and a Mana Flask just in case we get a nitty gritty until we get Life Tap, and then we should be good. But that's pretty much it for the build. This is just a progress video. So, yeah. Oh, pardon me. My overall comments to this build is incredibly fun to play, very different, most likely going to be the meta moving forwards, super tanky. Is it going to be the best endgame boss killer? Probably not, but it is pretty fun, and it still does huge damage, and we'll be able to kill Cyrus with this thing once we scale it up. So it shouldn't have any real problems in the endgame. If anything, it's just a really cheap and nasty way to play a bleed character with, you know, dealing with all the patch notes and everything. The nerfs just don't really apply to this character. That just does what it wants and still speeds through maps and kills everything. But yeah. Anyway, if you like this video, like and sub. I'll put a copy of my POB in the description, where I'm at right now. And yeah, this is my day one recap at the end of the day. We're already up to T7 maps by the next morning. So yeah. Anyway, have a good one, and bye.